What's up, everybody? It's Hank here with Break MMA. I'm really pumped about this episode today. I'm mostly an MMA platform, as all of you know, but I watch Ink Master and all kinds of other shows. You know, football, I'm a huge football fan, college and pro, fighting, and guest today, Austin Rose, a member of this season's Ink Master. He's still in it. We're pretty deep now. I think there's only 12 people left, and he's still in it. Had a close last episode, but I'm glad to talk to him. We're going to talk about fighting. We're going to talk about tattoos. We're going to talk about Ink Master. And I'm looking forward to it. How are you doing today, Austin?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just got done grilling some burgers.
Hell yeah. What time is it? Where are you at?
I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Okay, that's the accent. That explains the accent.
Yeah.
Like, this guy talks funny.
It's 1 o'clock here. You're 2 hours behind me.
Yeah, so it's like 11-ish here. Something like that.
Yeah, for sure. But first thing I guess we'll jump into is the Ink Master. Now, what do you think of the show so far? What you've seen? First off, my first question, and I forgot to ask Christian this. I had Christian Buckingham on, as I told you before we went live. Do they show you the episodes in advance? Like, do they sit you down and show you what they're going to put on TV, or do you see it live?
I see it when you guys see it. I see it when you see it, man. Whatever they edit it into, I see it when you see it.
So there's no, like, test where they sit down and show you anything?
Fuck, I wish, man. I'd be like, maybe don't do that. Yeah, maybe don't show that trash polka tattoo. Maybe we can skip that episode.
So, speaking of the last episode, too, I touched on it just briefly. I watch every episode, religiously, and I thought the bottom two should have been Turk and Stacy. I didn't even think you should have been in the bottom two, let alone be...
I fully agree with you, man. I fully agree. As far as, like, just because of, like, the thing is they stopped doing report cards, man. So, like, if it was like a report card type of situation and we looked at who was in the bottom the most times, I wouldn't have even been considered for that. However, like, clean... Turk is a bad motherfucker. I'm going to put it out there. That dude can tattoo fucking circles around most people I know. He's got tons of experience. And I'm going to tell you, like, I learned a lot just being around the guy. But if we were going by report cards, he was down in the bottom 2 times. Like, more, I was only in the bottom the first 2 episodes. Then I just kind of made my way through and started feeling my flow and just, kind of making my tattoos the way they should be. The nerves will for sure get to you. So, in my opinion, I think, yes, maybe Turk should have been at the bottom. Stacy's just she's an interesting character. And as far as going to the bottom, yeah, she should have been down there too. Her shit was weak sauce the last couple of weeks we were working. So, if you want my opinion, I agree with you. Turk and Stacy should have been at the bottom. I shouldn't have even been considered.
Yeah, but since they did send you down there, and going back to Stacy, I thought she should have went home on that seahorse that she did the week before. I don't think JP should have went home that weekend. I think every episode's been really crazy as far as
unfortunately, I do believe JP should have gone home for that. Or not JP. What was that, JP? Yeah, JP. Yeah. I do believe JP should have gone home on that tattoo. There was a lot. Like, you guys only see a brief moment of what they show as far as the critiques, as far as, like, how much we're judged and how much we go into looking at these tattoos. And JP's was pretty fucking weak comparatively. And it wasn't even on the mark, that, like, the spot that was chosen. Again, none of those butt tattoos were on the fucking butt.
Yeah, they all of them put it on the hip. Every one of them.
Every single fucking one of them. And they tried to lawyer that shit. They argued that shit wasn't on there. Like, in my opinion, all the people who should have been at the bottom that week should have all been Team Christian, and all 3 had butt tattoos.
Whenever I had Christian on here just a few days ago, he said that he said Stacy's harmless and she's cool, but he said that she disrespects and stands for everything I hate about tattooing. He's like, she's not a real tattooer. She just thinks of it as, well, people just like me because I'm pretty, I think's one thing she said, and they don't judge me by my tattoos, they judge me by my looks. And
I will say they do that a lot with women tattooers. I won't say it's fair, but they definitely do judge women on their looks. Christian's being a little harsh on Stacy. She also embodies a lot of the shit I don't like about today's tattooing business. I believe strongly you should go through an apprenticeship. You should work a counter for a few years before you even get a fucking look at a machine in the eye, dude. And a lot of the tattooers are just coming straight out of tattoo school these days and just not having to even deal with the bullshit that's going to make you a good tattooer, the fundamental shit. And Stacy hasn't learned a lot of that stuff. That being said, Stacy learned so much shit when she was there, and it has been like, I look at her work now, and she's throwing down hard lines, doing some fucking traditional style stuff. I'm waiting for her shirt she's sending me. She made a traditional style shirt, which is all in all, that chick put everything she had into it and more. And, she gave me a good run for my money on that Biomech skull.
I was about to say the challenge between you and her, she put that was her best piece easily on the show.
I full on agree. That thing, when I saw it, like I walked into it, like I said, Stacy learned a lot, and I knew she was going to come with something. She kept talking shit. It's like, I'm going to make a watercolor Biomech skull. And I thought she was really going to do that. So I was like, man, this is going to be a fucking cakewalk if she tries that shit. But she wasn't that fucking dumb. She's definitely not a dumb girl. Like, she may play that angle a little, but she plays that as a fucking weapon. It's one of her swords that she sharpens every fucking day.
So did you, interesting part of the episode for me too was you had the Easter colors, as you called them. You had like the pink and green.
Easter egg.
The Easter egg colors. And Tiffer, which my pick so far, like if I had to pick somebody right now that at least made it to the top 3, it would for sure be Tiffer.
Tiffer's a fucking monster.
He's an amazing artist, and
he's a fucking monster. Him and Tony both are fucking monsters. I don't really give a shit.
Tony,
and I'll put Turk in that. I'll put Turk in that fucking mix right now too. Those 3 are probably my top favorite tattooers that I'm watching right now. I love Jimmy Snaz, but I'm not much of a traditional guy. I do tradish, but Jimmy is my heart. That's my boy. Like, I love that dude. Like, he's fucking fam. But as far as the strongest tattooers, I go Tiffer, Tony, Turk, the 3 T's.
I'd probably go Tiffer, Tony, and then probably maybe Amanda. Amanda's really good.
Man, Amanda's great. Amanda's an excellent tattooer. I honestly, I don't have much fear for many of the people on Team Christian, unfortunately. I know they make it look at like I'm a much weaker tattooer than the most of them, but a lot of that's editing. They need a fucking story. As far as tattooing goes, man, everybody's on that show is good. JP was fucking badass. Jamie Lee Parker, that motherfucker went home, and he should never, like, if you go and look at his work, that guy, I think, kills everybody.
Yeah, Christian had a lot to talk about with him. He said that Jamie does better tattoos on a regular basis than any tattoo Christian has on him right now.
Oh, absolutely. I'll agree. Fucking top of the line.
He's like, that guy went home. A lot of it's the show, how the show gets to you.
Well, it's the show, and it's a game, man. So you got to make sure that you're playing your strategy. It's just like fighting, man. You go in with a game plan. Sometimes most game plans don't survive contact with the enemy. And, like, that one won. They threw a grenade. It hit.
So your color palette, I'll go back to that. Did you have an original color palette, or was you just going to do a black and gray piece?
Nah, dude, I had several color palettes. That was the thing, is that they put up, like, I didn't do any preparation. One thing I'll say is I bought an iPad 2 days before I left for Ink Master. Never worked or drew on an iPad at all, but I figured, everybody on the show that I've seen so far fucking draws on iPads. And so that was one of the first things I ever drew on that iPad. So I didn't have a lot of time to sit there and figure out how to, like, work my brushes and do the colors. So, like, that's why I didn't have a comprehensive game plan as far as, like, what color is exactly going to go where, which that was a mistake.
So the game plan was never just to go full on black and gray.
Fuck no. The challenge was color Biomech skulls, So I had always planned to go color. I had a little bit of a reference there. I was showing people. Actually, I have it right here if you want to see it. This is the exact thing I drew on the show.
I can't see you. It says poor.
No, give me just 1 second. Yeah, here we go.
I can't see it.
So this was. Can you see it?
No, we have poor connection, so I can't. I haven't been able to see you this whole time.
Anyways, I actually had a color theory made up. It just wasn't a very strong looking one. And so, because I'd never drawn on iPads. If I had done it on paper that night, I would have had a full color version ready to go.
At the
Also,
end
I did. Go ahead.
at the end of it, did you think you had done enough to beat Stacy?
Absolutely. I wasn't. I was not concerned as far as whether I'm going to beat Stacy. My question was whether my skull was going to be considered biomechanical, and that was what worried me the most. And again, the show looked like it had my entire team sitting there fucking running me. Like, they act like my team held my hand and pulled fucking lines for me. Was not the case. They more were fucking irritating me than anything, getting in my ear. And I think that kind of one of the reasons why I had a poor game plan going in. Too many good ass tattooers telling me this, that, and the other, and they're conflicting. So I'm like, it threw me.
Yeah, for sure. They made it seem like everybody was helping you, but at the end of the day, they can't pick up that gun and do it for you. It's you doing it.
No, absolutely.
I thought you edged her out. I thought it was close, though. Like you said, she did a good tattoo.
It was close.
She did a good tattoo.
It was really fucking close. And again, I give much props to Stacy for pulling that out. It's not a style she'd have ever thought of doing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But so far in the show that you've watched, who do you think? And when you were there, I don't know if it's different, like when you were there compared to watching it on TV. Who do you think, in your opinion, is top dog? Would you say Tiffer? Would you say Tiffer's the most talented?
Well, if you want me to be fucking clear, be real, I want to say I'm the fucking best. I'm gonna win. You know, like that's what I say. If you want my opinion other than that, it's fucking Tiffer, Tony. And if we're being real, God, I don't even know who on the other team, man. Like, I love Chris Shockley. That dude's a bad motherfucker. He's an excellent tattooer. They didn't even give him enough props on his very first tattoo. He did that entire thing with a 3-liner.
Yeah, he's a good
entire thing with a 3-liner. That is like, if anybody knows anything about tattooing out who listens to your podcast, that's an amazing thing to do. I do a lot of shading with just a 3-liner, but he did smooth, like buttery shading with a 3-liner.
Yeah, you're covered in tattoos, right? You've got them from head to toe everywhere.
I got one or two.
I don't know. You can see me, right?
Yeah, I can see you got some work. You got a Joker face.
I've got the Joker smile. I've got a bunch of them on me.
I'm a huge nerd, so that Joker smile is one of my favorites you got on there, bro.
Yeah, I got both arms sleeved, both legs from knee down, the back piece, my whole chest and my stomach is all done. But where was your most painful one? That's what I was going to ask you. You've got
my most painful one. Actually, like it's not even one of the biggest ones I have. It's not even like my head tattoo. Actually, people always ask if that was my most painful, and it's not really. There was a couple real fucking intense spots on it, but if we're being real, I got these little hearts right here on my fucking fingers, right at the base of my cuticles. Those things fucking sucked.
Yeah, I've got my finger a little bit on my finger.
Yeah, fingers are pretty intense, man. But that one right at the cuticle, like the little hearts right at the middle finger cuticles, those things were just super intense. They didn't last long, and I did them to myself.
Mine was probably my ribs. Do you have your ribs done?
Not yet. So I'm actually waiting until I get my purple belt in jiu-jitsu before I do my back piece, and I'm just gonna go from the backs of my knees to the shoulders. It's going to be Shoki the Demon Queller from Japanese mythical. He's going to be fighting 5 demons, each wearing a colored sash. Dang. So when I get my purple belt, I'll get my white, blue, and purple sashes colored. And then Shoki will be wearing a coral sash, obviously. So when, I make it to coral level, I can fill that bad boy in.
That's badass. Great segue into our next topic. You say you follow MMA, and of course, it's such a popular sport now. A lot of people follow it. It's
crazy how popular it's become.
In a way better place. I mean, it's on ESPN now. It's in a way better place than it was.
Right? It's on not Spike. It's on Paramount Network.
Paramount.
Like, we got Bellator MMA, one of my homeboys, Chris Lencioni. Hey, buddy, what's up? Fucking kill him, buddy.
I love Bellator.
That's my guy. I tattoo him, and he lives in my town. We play PUBG together and shit, so,
Bellator's the shit, too. Bellator, Chael and Fedor fighting this weekend.
Yeah, that shit's going to be badass.
Woo! For sure. But the talk of the MMA world right now, of course, is Conor Khabib.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's some weird fucking dude. That was insanity.
First off, before we get into
insanity.
Who did you pick to win before it all happened? Who was your pick to win and how?
Oh my god, dude! If
be honest,
if I'm being honest, I'm gonna have to say with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns in my head, they are fighting. I fucking love Conor. Right now, though, I'm a little pissed at him and Khabib, man. They're both making the sport look like shit, and the UFC in itself is making the sport look like a fucking circus.
Did you have Conor winning?
Dude, I did have Conor winning. I didn't have him winning easy. Oh, God damn it, stop it. I didn't have him winning easy, but I had him winning. I thought that Khabib would do exactly what he did, sit on him for a while and try to fucking wear him down. I think Conor did a good job in that first round of like really conserving his energy and not trying to like fight out from being smothered too much. But man, I had him for sure winning up until that fucking big right hand from Khabib in the second round, I think.
Yeah, I had Khabib winning by submission, and I called it. I had Khabib.
Dude, that kid was, dude, he fucking strangled him through his fucking eyeball.
I had him winning by second round submission, and it happened in the fourth, but I did call it by submission. Khabib is just that style, you know. Conor did great though for what Khabib does. Khabib smashes you, and he really didn't smash Conor.
Grinder. He fucking stood and banged with him a bit too, which was very surprising.
Like at the end of the fight, you know, Conor wasn't badly swollen up. He had one little cut over his eye.
And he's got a little black eye.
Yeah, he had like a little black eye, and that's it. I mean, he didn't look like Edson Barboza or Ally Quinton, where their faces were swollen out to here and beat up.
And that's what fucking Khabib said he wanted to change his face.
And he didn't at all.
Didn't happen.
No. Conor actually won the third round, come back and won round 3.
Dude, I was seriously, that was on the edge of my seat, that whole fucking card. That whole card was awesome, man.
Oh, the Derek Lewis
fucked up thing is it eclipses some really good fucking fights, man. That Pettis fight, man, until he broke his fucking hand, dude, like, and they called it. Tony Ferguson was putting a fucking smackdown on him, dude.
Oh, yeah, fight of the night. Derek Lewis with a last-second knock.
Dude, last-second knock. That was beautiful. That was fucking beautiful. What was that last one? It looked like a fucking TKO, but it wasn't called.
Ovin St. Preux and Dominic Reyes.
Yeah. That was a fucking... dude, all those were fucking bangers, man. But they were eclipsed by some fucking drama.
Yeah, well, so we'll get to the... Khabib takes him down. He strangles him. He taps. So after Conor taps, Khabib sits up, and he yells something at Conor. And Conor just, you know, kind of takes it on the chin, doesn't say nothing. Khabib does a dead sprint and throws his mouthpiece at the cage, screaming at Dylan Dennis, which is Conor's jiu-jitsu coach.
Yep.
He then jumps the cage and full-blown eagle dives on top of Dylan and starts a fight with Dylan. And actually, if you watch the tape, Dylan got a few shots on Khabib. And then Conor, I don't know have you watched the in-depth footage? Have you watched?
You talking about when homeboy jumps in the fucking cage? There's two dudes, I don't think the first guy got an actual shot on him. I think Conor blocked that first shot. But then what's his dick jumped over the fucking cage and got the sucker punch from behind.
So what had all happened? There's been new footage come out. Everybody thought Conor just sit there. After Khabib jumped up, another one of Khabib's team members was on top of the cage, and Conor ran up and hit him with a clean left hook right to the chin.
Oh, shit. I missed that.
And then he drops, and then this other dude runs up, the dude with the two dudes that you're talking about.
The black shirt.
Conor throws a punch at one of them, and then the guy in the red shirt punches Conor that we all see. And then after that, Conor runs over to Khabib's corner, and you know that wig that Khabib wears, that Russian hat?
Yeah, that big hat.
Yeah, Conor run over to his corner and snatched it and threw it on the ground.
God damn.
After all that...
You know, I don't want to, because, you know, I'm from the fucking streets, man, but the streets didn't do me no fucking good. The MMA and jiu-jitsu world is what fucking got me, you know, got my shit together, that and tattooing. So to see this inside, this is all WWF, which I also watched, back when I was growing up, man. Like, so it's like, I feel like it puts a bad name on the sport for people who don't watch it. Like, for new potential people, it makes us look like a bunch of fucking idiots, a bunch of fucking Neanderthals. But coming from the streets, I love this shit, man.
Yeah,
I like watching this shit. I love the fucking drama. I love the chaos. I love this, I just love the intense fucking bullshit. Do I think it's great? Do I think someone may come out dead at the end of this? Because, dude, you're talking about in a time where we're having so much Islamophobia and craziness and Conor's attacking his religion and family, what do you think is going to fucking happen, dude? Muslims don't fuck around when it comes to Allah.
Conor was quoted saying on the MMA Hour, too, that it's not over. They all better watch what they do. If they come around me, it's on. He was pretty much saying that this is never going to be over, even after the fight, no matter who wins. And if we see each other on the street or see each other, we have
We're fucking Pac and Biggie, bro. It's Pac and Biggie all over.
Exactly, except the MMA world. But I love MMA, and I'm sure you do, too. For people
Absolutely.
like me and you who love it, who cover it, I've had got a lot of MMA dudes on here. I've messaged a lot of them and talked to them. Watched it for years. Die-hard, hardcore fan. Watch every event, everything, and it's bad for the sport. It makes us. It's everything we don't want, all in one night. It's bad publicity.
Oh, absolutely.
It's bad. It's a bad look, and if like you said, the new eyes that are watching, they looked at that and. It's not good. The drama's good and the excitement.
It's fun.
I was on the edge of my seat, like you said. I mean, I was
all night.
I was literally jaw dropped watching it, as was everybody else. But as far as if you love MMA, if you're somebody like me or you who love it, it's not a good thing.
It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. It's. What I don't like about it, and it's not even the two fighters that I blame so much, because dog's gonna hunt, man. You fucking let two motherfuckers out with mouths that just want to fucking smash each other's heads. They're gonna get in each other. What I don't like is that the UFC just doesn't take any measures. You know what I mean? They love it. They act like this is what we want in the sport, which it's not, man. And they just let these two fucking athletes go at each other with no consequences. Fucking Conor just gets away with every fucking thing, man. No matter what, he gets no fucking consequences. The shit that happened on that bus, I mean, he should have been suspended. Should have been suspended for fucking ever. I think Khabib's title should be stripped, and it's only because there needs to be some kind of consequence for that kind of bullshit. Something should happen to Conor as well. I don't give a fuck about at this point. I'm pissed at both of these camps, both of these people, but I'm more pissed off at the UFC for allowing this to get this far.
Exactly. And the Conor bus attack is prime evidence that if maybe you had done something then it wouldn't have happened now. But at the same time,
if you would have fined him more for throwing the fucking bottle at Nate Diaz, back then, dude, you start giving consequences before shit like this happens. Bob's your uncle. You got a good fight organization.
It's definitely not a good look. Are you interested in a rematch, though? Do you think they should run it back?
Yes, I would love to fucking see a rematch. Do I think they should do a rematch? Fuck no, dude. I think they should both be suspended until they get their fucking shit together. Go to some anger management or some shit. I don't know. Hug each other. Give each other a fucking Dutch rudder. I don't care. I want to see these guys both punished somehow. Maybe not even stripping the belt. Maybe not. But a suspension for at least a fucking good amount of time that it pissed them off.
Yeah, I mean, something's got to be done. You got to strip him. And Khabib, what's scary for Khabib, and he probably didn't even think about this, is he could get deported. He could lose his visa.
He's on a visa, man.
And the two guys who jumped in and attacked Conor were both under contract with the UFC, were fighters, and Dana said automatically after that they were both fired.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, fire them both. Conor should, but the thing is, they're fired. What is going to happen to Conor?
I mean, they're kind of acting like Conor's the victim a little bit here.
But he's not, dude. He instigated the whole fucking thing. Him and fucking Khabib. He's been instigating. I get what he does. I love his method of getting into his fucking opponent's head. If you look at me in the beginning of this Ink Master bullshit on Ink Master Angels, I took a card from his book. don't go in there showing any fucking fear. Don't go in there acting like you can win or you can lose, you know? That's why people didn't like me right off. You know, I will say the actual Ink Master humbled me as far as that kind of attitude goes, because I went in there thinking, you know, I'm the shit. And then, you know, there's some other people out there who had, you know, some bad motherfuckers in that, you know. So there's always going to be someone who can take you out. But don't go in thinking you're ever going to lose. Why would you go into a competition ever thinking you're going to lose?
We're pretty much on the same ball as far as Conor khabib, and I told you right before we went on there too that I'm a fan of yours on Ink Master. I like your attitude. It seems like you get a lot of hate, but you, like you said, you come in a fighter and you'll leave a fighter if and when that happens. If you win or if you don't win, you're still going to be who you are the same way, and I like that about you.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like, it's a competition. I'm not a stranger to competition, and you know, like, I really, really, really want $100,000. I really want a spot in Ink Master or Ink Magazine. I really want to be the Ink Master. So, you know, I'm going to do what it takes to get there. But I'm not going to boo-hoo if I get knocked out sometime. You know, like, I'll just dust my shit off, come back, and do it again. You know, like, if they invite me back, you know, whether I win, whether I lose, if they invite me back, I had a great experience. I would never say no. Both, you know, Ink Master and fighting, like tattooing and fighting, tattooing and jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is my love, really, first and foremost. Like, to be able to strangle someone and not have to have a fucking conversation with law enforcement pretty much saved my life. You know, like, I did scrap a little bit before I ever got into MMA or jiu-jitsu. I scrapped on the streets a lot, you know, like, you know, I lived on the streets, so, you know, it's a survival technique. Mostly, you know, it saved my life, though. Like, you would never think one thing that gets me in so much trouble will also one day get me out of all that trouble, you know?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu definitely is one of the, can be life-changing, like you said, MMA and jiu-jitsu. Anything, really, that you can hang on to, tattoos, jiu-jitsu. If it helps you and betters your life, that's a great positive thing and a great road.
Well, I'm 40 years old, man. I'm 40 years old, and I started jiu-jitsu right around, like, I think I was like 35, 34, 35. And, dude, I swear to God, I had abs. I had wrestled for a little while in high school. I never fucking had abs in high school. I had 35, 36. I got my first set of abs. I never turned back from that, dude. It's selfie season all day at that point.
Do you, where do you train jiu-jitsu?
A lot of MMA here in Portland. One of the best fucking places here in Portland. It's a family. We love everybody. Jiu-jitsu, badass jiu-jitsu. We got 4 black belts there now.
Whew.
Our MMA team isn't really that strong right now, but we lost one of our coaches who went to another gym. So we're always looking for a good MMA coach if you're out there.
So how much time did you really get to spend with Clean and like Christian and all them? How much did you, like, after you stopped filming or just was just chilling for a second, could you actually hang out with them and stuff?
No, they lived with us, man. My bed was right next to Christian's, which was right next to Clean's.
Oh, so you
they live in the house with us. They're competitors right next to us. You know, I mean, you rarely see Oliver or Dave or Chris. They're there for, they come walk in and check out, you know, the tattoos. They swoop through. They're there for the judging. They're there for the critiques. But when it comes to, like, who fucking lives with you, it's Christian, Clean, and the rest of us. We all live in the same fucking room, except the girls have their own separate room, obviously, for obvious reasons. But, yeah, all the dudes, we all live in one big fucking room. We all live in the same loft. We have to, like, eat, sleep, break bread next to each other. That's why some of the shit you see on the internet is pretty fucking ridiculous when they're like, oh, you guys are pieces of shit. I hope you guys kill each other. Man, we live together. At the end of the day, we all sit down. We all respect. Well, I hope, there's some that cannot separate TV from reality on the show for sure. But the majority of us, we're not salty. When those cameras go off, we sit down. I cooked fucking food for the people most of the time I was there, man. I love to cook, so.
Yeah,
I feed those motherfuckers.
I love to cook myself. I thought the contestants had their own house and, like, the coaches had their own place, but they're in the same spot with you guys.
Straight up in the same Ink Master loft, baby.
Where is this at? Is it in Florida? Where's this at?
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
That's the same place they have the live finale, right?
No, the live finale. Well, so again, I never really watched. To be honest, I never watched the show before I was invited onto it. So I don't know where the live finale is all the time. Last season it was in Vegas, and I believe this season, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say where it's at this season. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that under my hat for now. But it's a live season finale. It'll be somewhere fun.
Yeah, I don't want you to say that either if you're not allowed. But
yeah, I don't want to say anything that get me in trouble, you know.
Definitely, because I've talked to Christian about those contracts, and he said they're fucking ironclad contracts.
Yeah, so my ex is a lawyer. We're still really good friends, and when I sign those contracts, because I'm fucking stupid, I don't know what I'm signing. So I send them to her. She reads them. She let me know. Don't say anything you're not supposed to. Don't give up any creative rights to anything you don't want to keep that you want to keep. But other than that, dude, yeah, my contract's pretty much don't say anything stupid, but you can say whatever you want, really,
One of those type of things.
Yeah.
How long have you been tattooing?
I've been a tattoo artist for 10 years. I mean, I've been tattooing professionally for 10 years. I tattooed a little in high school. I tattooed, my friends, my dumbass friends from Burnside Skate Park. But for the most part, man, I've been tattooing professionally 10 years, and I did a 5 to 7 year apprenticeship before that. So in the industry, like 25 years.
Damn. So you've had to have a lot of experience with this.
Yeah, I started off just scrubbing tools, man. Just a shop bitch. Sweeping floors. The way I did it is I just hung around a shop that I liked the artist, got tattoos, hung around until they handed me a broom, and then from there I just started with the broom and became a tattoo artist eventually. It took me quite a while. I was literally counter for 7 years while I did it. So you learn a lot about the industry just being a counter person.
Putting your time in. You've put your time in it for sure.
Absolutely. I will say that the last few years I kind of neglected the actual tattoo side of my life. Simply, I struggled with drugs, man. I struggled with drugs and shit like that. And, MMA and jiu-jitsu, mainly jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is pretty much where everything starts for me. Starts and ends when it comes to MMA. But I found jiu-jitsu, and you know how I don't know if you train, but man, when that jiu-jitsu bug hits you and bites you, all this other bullshit, the fucked up shit you're doing, like when you're doing drugs, you're out there drinking all fucking night, partying, all that shit goes out the window because you can't go in the next morning and get strangled by some fucking 19-year-old and then look at yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, dude, you let that kid strangle you, and you could have been doing better if you didn't, have that shot last night, or you didn't fuck that girl last night, or you like, it puts some shit into perspective for you,
Yeah, you've and lastly, this will be the last topic I will do real quick.
Cool.
But you opened up a little bit a couple of episodes ago. I don't know if it was the last one. Yeah, it was the last one. You opened up about your past and struggling, and I think you said being homeless at one point in time.
Man, I was homeless a lot in my life, man. My parents, so I'm adopted, man. I grew up in the foster care system. I used to run away from foster homes a lot. Used to live on the streets, and like the people who are my family now found me when I was like 15, living under a bridge, and they're like, "Well, you live with us now." But yeah, no, I struggle with a lot of homelessness, a lot of drug problems, But I feel if you put that out there for the rest of the people, maybe there's someone out there watching that can say, "Well, fuck, if he can do it, I can do it." Or maybe it's just because for me it was something like that. I listened to a radio program, a dude named Jason Ellis. And that guy, I just one day heard him. He was fucking struggling. He was crying on the radio about fucking, how his life is just going to shit because he's doing drugs. And he turned to fucking MMA and jiu-jitsu, and it saved his fucking life. And so I figured, why not give it a try, man? The worst he could come out with is an ass whooping, and that ain't nothing new to me.
Yeah, I thought it was really great that you opened up and talked about it because it makes us, fans. Like, I'm a fan of the show and of you, of course. And it makes the people who hate on you second guess themselves. Like, let's really stop, and they don't even know you. Let's really stop and let's really get to know this guy before you pass judgment and before you start talking shit. And once you really open up and tell people about your past and your experiences, and really sit down and talk with somebody, you'll be surprised what you hear.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was. I wasn't even trying to, open up to that shit. Chris Nunez had said some shit which wasn't shown on the TV. That actually, a lot of that happened after the judging. I had already won. They edited it before the judging had happened. For drama, I guess. But yeah, it was Stacy had left, and she kind of pissed me off, and I started getting emotional because I was mad because she walked out and was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go home," and all of us are there fighting like our asses. We're missing our families, we're missing our homes, we're missing everything. And then Chris had said something, and he's like, "I see you're getting all emotional." I was like, "Man, yeah." And then what you saw on TV came out of me, and it just kind of shook Jimmy too, because Jimmy kind of went through a lot of the same stuff with fighting drugs and a lot of the same shit. That's actually how we bonded really closely. That beats my heart for sure.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a great episode for you personally. For your appearance and for you showing how much of a fighter you were. You pulled it off. You won. You're still in the game. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next few episodes and looking forward to seeing you killing it even more, man.
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, man. If you're ever out in the Portland area, fucking hit me up. We'll do a little tatty on you, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if you're into it.
For sure. I only do black and gray, though. You like black and gray?
I fucking kill black and gray, man. Dude, I don't know if you noticed. I do every style. That was the thing that helped me out so much is I don't stick to one style. I stay versatile, man. You got to stay versatile in both the fight game and the tattoo game, or else you're not gonna be able to take anything that walks in. And I'm a street shop guy. I'm a fucking custom artist. You tell me what you want, I do it for you.
I appreciate you coming on here so much, man, and it was a great talking with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. It was a good interview, man.
Yeah, here
you're good at this.
Within a few weeks or so, after a few more episodes go by, if you want to do a recap follow-up episode, I'll have you on.
Yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Definitely, I wouldn't mind at all. I'll come on anytime you ask me, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
As long as it's Monday, actually, because that's the only time I have time.
Yeah, Mondays work good, too.
All right, man. Cool. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good day.
You too, man. Cheers.
Ooh, that was a good interview. Austin Rose from Ink Master. Austin Rose is a really good tattooer. If you haven't, I'm trying to get out of this bright goddamn sunlight. If you've never seen Austin's tattoos or haven't seen him work, he's a great tattooer. Great interview. I think he really opened up a lot. Talked about his struggling with drugs, being homeless. Talked about Ink Master, his win, his head-to-head win versus Stacy. He's a fighter. He's going to fight, and he's going to stay in this show. Big things for Austin coming. I appreciate you guys for watching, subscribing, and liking. This is Hank with Smoke Break MMA. We covered Conor. We covered Conor Khabib, the melee after. Who knows what's going to happen with Conor Khabib? We'll see. This is Hank for Smoke Break MMA. See you guys.